Welcome to It's Happening in Grand Prairie. I'm Georgia Clemson, and we have a great show for you today, starting with our first guest, Mrs. Gloria Carrillo. Welcome, Gloria.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, Gloria. Of course, you are a president of the Grand Prairie Independent
Yes.
School District Board of Trustees.
Yes, ma'am.
Which is a huge job.
Yes.
But as a forever friend, I know you are involved in so many things in the city of Grand Prairie and have made so many contributions to our city. We appreciate you, and we know that you have something extra special coming up soon.
We have so many wonderful opportunities. We have National Hispanic Heritage Month, September the 15th to October the 15th. This year, we're going to have an absolutely marvelous concert at the Uptown Theater on the 13th at 6 p.m. The first hour of entertainment will be music from all of the Latino countries. The last hour will be mariachi pura sangre, mariachi music for the last hour. So we are so excited about that event. It's going to be a beautiful event at the Uptown, and we'll be selling tickets, $20 and $30 tickets. And we want the whole community to come out because it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful event.
Right here at our very own
Yes.
Uptown Theater. And this is a first, isn't it?
It is the first, yes. We celebrated National Hispanic Heritage Month last year at the Ruthie Jackson Center. And this year we decided to do a concert at the Uptown. So,
Oh, that will be so exciting.
yes.
Gloria, if people want to come and want to purchase a ticket, where do they go to get a ticket?
They go to the website for the Uptown, and the Uptown will be selling tickets for us. And that's one of the events that's happening for National Hispanic Heritage Month. I know that the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is having an event here at the Farmers Market. There will be a parade on the 17th of September. And there will be it's going to be a parade. Golf carts will be in the parade because unfortunately the district was not able to participate because school just started. We don't have time to get floats and cars and everything ready, but
Right.
this is the first time that they're going to have a parade, so that's on the 17th of September.
And golf carts. I think that's a good idea.
Be different, right?
Yes, it will
Yes.
be different.
Mhm.
And we'll see how that works this year because that will be a first as well.
Yes, ma'am. It will be a first, and I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it.
And Gloria,
Uh-huh.
speaking of parades and other events,
Yes.
we know that in Grand Prairie we celebrate Hispanic heritage in many ways all
Yes, we do.
year. But this is a specific time that we do the Hispanic Heritage Month.
Mhm.
But what else do we do, and why do you think that's so important to the citizens of
I
Grand
think it's so
Prairie?
important for everyone to be aware of the culture and the heritage of other groups. We do, ICE Hispanic Association for Culture and Education does a Cinco de Mayo celebration for the city of Grand Prairie. Last year, just in the parade, there were 3,500 people in the parade, and as a result of that event, we gave 25 $1,000 scholarships to students in our Grand Prairie School. Next year is going to be our 35th anniversary, and our goal is 35,000 in scholarships. And I've already started working on that, so I know we're going to reach our goal.
Oh,
So-
yes, and what a great, great opportunity that is to be involved and to donate to something that's really important to our students.
Well, this year we got registered with the North Texas Giving Day too. So I say Hispanic Association for Culture and Education is already on there, and I believe that you can start donating September the 1st. We need your help. We need your help to come up with that 35,000 for next year.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. Well, chronologically, we got a little ahead of ourselves.
Yes.
We're going to have the September and October events.
Yes.
But what happens between that, like in December?
We have, ICE does Noche de Navidad. And what we have done is we partner with the Connections program with the school district. Sonia Ortega is the director. And the social workers let the community know how many families need assistance, food and gifts for their children during the Christmas holidays. So last year, our group gave 260 families between 85 to 95 pounds of food, including a turkey and a ham. And we were able to do gifts for over 1,000 children. So for me, that's Christmas. That is my Christmas for me, to be able to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were at the elementary school, and the cars just drove up.
Right.
And we have so many people, so many churches, so many groups that help us. They adopt families. We had a drive-through where the families would drive through and would give them the box of food, and then they came back at a specific time to pick up the gifts for their children. So all the social workers in our district work on that, and I think it's so important. I think that every family, every child needs to be able to celebrate Christmas, and I think everybody that helps us come up with the funds to do this.
Right, and there's
Yes.
such a need. I
Yes.
remember the lines were very long, and the
Yeah.
people were very appreciative as you all loaded the boxes into their vehicles and made it
It was
convenient.
beautiful.
Yes.
I mean, absolutely beautiful when you see the volunteers that come out and help us. And we need volunteers. We need manpower, because when Tom Thumb drives up with the trucks, and last year it was 3 trucks full of food. And the manpower that we need is to help us sort the food and everything, because you can imagine trying to pick up a bag of onions or potatoes that weighs over 100
Right.
pounds, so we need some manpower for that, and we'll be doing that probably the 2nd Friday of December. So
And that's Sonia Ortega that's in charge of that one?
Sonia Ortega, the Connections Program, she's the one that gives us the names of the families that need assistance. And as soon as she gives us that information, Sonia tells me, this is what we need. And as soon as she gives us that information, we start working on getting sponsors to help us come up with that, with the food and the gifts for the children. And it's such a heartwarming experience. I love it.
And if someone wanted to donate to that, they could contact you or
Yes.
Sonia Ortega at the GPISD.
Right, or they can just donate to ASA Hispanic Association for Culture and Education. We're a 501c3, and anything that you give us, you can write off on your tax, because we're IRS formatted. So
Yes,
that,
of course.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
That is a great opportunity. We have so many great opportunities. And Gloria, I know now that we've talked about September, October, and December, and we've also gone to May.
Yes.
So let's go back to May again.
Yes, ma'am.
Or fast forward to May.
Yes.
I know in the past you talked about all of those scholarships.
Yes.
A grand total for how many years? Tell us
34
about that.
years. We have been doing this for 34 years, and we've given around $400,000 in scholarships to Grand Prairie students. Yesterday, the last of the 25 students that got our scholarship this year came to the office. We wrote checks to UT Austin, UT Arlington, SMU, and it's so wonderful to meet these young people, these young, beautiful people that come to pick up their checks, and we hear their stories and what they plan to do in the future, and it inspires you, so that when, sometimes we get tired, right?
Yes.
Yes. But when a child comes up and says, Mrs. Carrillo, are you going to do scholarships this year? And I have to say that I will do this until God tells me you can't.
Yes.
Yes.
And
So-
it's so, like you said, inspiring,
Yes.
rewarding, and to know that you're making a difference.
And those children, those young students, they are the ones that will make a change in our world.
Yes.
And so anything that we can do to help them, let's do it.
I
Yes.
agree totally.
Uh-huh.
Now, Gloria, let's wrap up. Recap what's coming up next.
October the 13th at the Uptown Theater, we're going to have a concert, National Hispanic Heritage Month concert. Javier Aguilar and his mariachi program, Pura Sangre, will be performing, and he is such a wonderful, wonderful talent. They're going to have different groups that will be performing. The first hour will be music from different Latino countries. We're going to have boleros, we're going to have tangos, and the last hour will be devoted to music from Mexico. So it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful event, and I hope that you can come out.
Yes, it
Yes.
sounds wonderful, and I hope to be there as well.
Oh, I hope to see you there. Yes.
Gloria, thank you so much for being with us, and thank you for all your many contributions to our city. We appreciate you.
We appreciate you for
God
all that you
bless
do.
you. Thank you, dear.
And thank you so much for allowing me to be here with you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll be right back.
The City of Grand Prairie offers Alert GP, a high-speed communication service for emergency notifications. Receive alerts from the Grand Prairie Emergency Management Team by going to the city's website and following the sign-up instructions. Alert GP can notify a lot of people in a short time. It targets the entire city or specific areas where critical community alerts are necessary. If we can't reach you, we can't alert you. Visit gptx.org/alertgp and sign up today.
Welcome back, and welcome to our next guest from the Grand Prairie Fire Department, Jason Ferris, Assistant Chief.
Thank you.
So glad to have you, Jason.
Oh, it's great to be here.
Well, Jason, we're so proud of our fire department here in Grand Prairie. And there are many reasons why, of course, but there's something special, an award recently, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us about it.
So we received for the 8th year in a row the Gold Plus from Mission Lifeline, and that is one of just a few cities in the state of Texas that have done that for every year that we have done it. It involves heart attacks and our care and getting the patient to the hospital from first medical contact, which is whenever our engines arrive, and engine or ambulance, and getting them to the hospital to the care that they need, which would be the cath lab.
Jason, I remember the mayor saying this at our briefing the other day, and I remember it as well 8 years ago when Chief Fight brought this to us and showed us Grand Prairie, the number we had, how we came out on it, and then the surrounding cities. And our surrounding cities, we don't want to brag too much, but they weren't number one.
No.
Correct?
That is correct. And you know, we don't even have a hospital that we can take these patients to in our city limits, and our personnel still manage to get this done in the 90-minute time frame that they have to get that definitive care.
So, in other words, if somebody in the city of Grand Prairie were having a heart attack, they call 911, and our EMTs get there, they have how long to get them stabilized into the hospital?
So we have to get them to the hospital and have the patient in the cath lab and have the procedure done in 90 minutes. So our time is very short because we have that extended transport time because we don't have the ambulances. We also have to do what's called a 12 lead that recognizes that they're having a certain type of heart attack that forces us to enact this standard.
So this award, actually, the results of this is a matter of life and death for some people, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's very important to, of course, the citizens of Grand Prairie, and also that's health-wise. What about our insurance premiums? Does it affect that?
I don't know about that. I don't get involved in the insurance, but
Yes.
I would assume that it probably would.
Well, it does. I have heard that because we are rated number one, it could affect your insurance policies. So
Okay.
that's
Well,
very exciting.
There's another reason to do it.
That's right. Well, also, Jason, I would say it's not easy to get to the point. We went from, were we a 2 or a 3 before we got to 1?
Oh, you're talking about the ISO 1 rating? Oh, yes, that does affect the insurance ratings. I
Yes.
was still thinking EMS. We were a 3 before that.
We were
so-
a 3
Yes,
and
ma'am.
jumped all the way up to a 1.
Yes.
Which is fabulous.
Oh, it's great.
And I know that Chief Fight was pushing for that. That was a goal, and he set that goal. And but why do you think that Grand Prairie was able to reach that?
I think a lot of it is the culture. Some of it is the council and what all they've provided for us, equipment-wise, personnel-wise, and some of it is just hard work by our members.
Absolutely, absolutely. What a team effort it is
Oh, yes, it is.
to have reached that and to have maintained it. I still find it hard to believe it's been for 8 years,
Mm-hmm.
but that is amazing. Now, Jason, I know you're assistant chief up at our public safety building.
Yes.
What are some of your responsibilities as assistant chief?
I am the assistant chief over EMS, so I'm in charge of everything that has to do with the ambulances and even the medical equipment that's on the engines and the ladder trucks. We are responsible for teaching 240 plus firefighters to better their EMS response, their care, the patient care. We are in charge of purchasing ambulances, purchasing EMS supplies, which has been quite the struggle with the COVID and the supply chain. We handle everybody's certifications, teach CPR to all of our personnel, and then just kind of help out in wherever else we needed.
Yes, and I know some other cities contract out their EMS programs,
Yes.
but Grand Prairie, we have our own. And what do you think are the benefits of that?
I had this discussion a couple years ago when we celebrated our 20th anniversary, and now we've got 22 years in. I think that's the best thing that a city can do for its citizens is providing the EMS side of the fire department. It allows us to have that gold plus standard that we have, because we don't have to rely on a private company to come in and just try and make it work. Before we had the ambulance, we had a private company that a lot of times didn't have enough ambulances because they were trying to make money. They were taking people to doctor's appointments and things like that a 911 ambulance doesn't do. Our city ambulance is just there for emergencies, and we only run 911 with them.
And Jason, do you have of course you have all the EMT people, but do you have someone working with you on your team as well?
Yes, I have a few firefighters that work for me, Daryl, Jeffrey, and Carly, and I also have EMS billing under me, so they handle anything that has to do with that, and then any of the insurance, and then we also have a young lady, Sherry, that is our CE instructor, and she's a paramedic and an RN.
Oh, wow. So you've got a great team there.
Oh, yes.
Making it happen for
They
Grand
make it easy
Prairie.
for me. They're making me look good. So
Yes, that's perfect.
Yeah.
And Jason, how long have you been with Grand Prairie?
I've been a firefighter for 25 years here in Grand Prairie, and I've been the EMS chief for a little over 4 years.
That is excellent. I know you do a wonderful job for us, and I don't like to say this, but I think the mayor and Tom Hart always said, if you're going to have a heart attack, make sure you're in Grand Prairie rather than one of our surrounding cities, because you can get the very best care.
That is correct.
Well, we hope nobody has a heart attack, but if they do, Grand Prairie is the best place to be.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today, and please give our best to all the firefighters and all the EMT workers. We are so appreciative of you, and we'll keep you in our prayers, and God bless you all.
And they all appreciate you also. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. And thank you for joining us today. I'm reminding you that it's happening in Grand Prairie.